I am a fan of Golden Hoops.
Doncic spins, wanted a foul, but a good job going right at Morris. Those two have certainly had their eventful playoff series. Again, this is Doncic's first NBA playoff series. Doncic was asked about that play from Game 5.
Defensive foul followed by a hostile act afterwards.
Keep my paycheck, not get a fine for this tech.
So Doncic gets to double figures, and there is so much chatter. I don't know how much of this is being deleted where you're watching this game, but what we're hearing, and Marcus Morris stirred it up with Doncic.
Now you have to realize, as the Clippers, you're in the head of Dallas. Now, first of all, Dallas has been playing great. This is Game 5. And I tell you what, the big fella, Gobert, is upset, saying, listen, when I'm on here, we're supposed to switch. Niang comes over and said, listen, we're communicating. And the big fella still doesn't like it because his man scored the three. He's not listening to it again. Sometimes you're upset with your brothers. I got 3 of them. He goes over there and just wreaks havoc.
Watching these two teams. PJ and Schröeder.
Yeah, PJ thought that Schröeder grabbed him. PJ is really hot. They called the foul on PJ Tucker, I think.
I think they call it on Schröeder. Watch.
Did they?
Yeah, PJ setting a screen, and Schröeder comes in there and tries to draw a foul, and PJ did not like that at all. Oh, Schröeder goes low.
Oh,
Schröeder
baby.
with the dirty play, with the right hand going in between PJ's legs, and PJ did not like that at all.
I don't know how PJ was able to get up from that one.
Well, PJ's tough. Well, we saw Chris Paul do that earlier in the series, and now Schröeder has done it, and that is dirty. Another look, watch the right arm of Schröeder coming right between the legs.
Man, that was...
And let me tell you, that's hostile. And PJ's having none of that. And if you're going to be hostile against anybody, you don't want to be hostile against PJ unless you got Steven Adams with your back.
Yeah.
Rick Carlisle was ejected during that last timeout. Hardaway had received the ball when Doc Rivers challenged the call. Rick Carlisle's argument here to Kane Fitzgerald was he already has the ball. He got a tee, and then Carlisle didn't back off, and ultimately Kane Fitzgerald takes a few steps back and sends him out of here. So Carlisle's been ejected.
Owandu, good hard drive. It can't finish. Marvin Williams right there to reject it. And Middleton foul by Terrance Ross. Middleton takes exception to that. Tony Brothers does a good job quickly getting Ross away. Ross looked like he was just trying to stop numbers. It's kind of a hard foul to do that, and that's what Middleton didn't like. Yeah, it's the swat, not necessarily the bump.
But if I'm Milwaukee, I've got to learn, this is going to happen. People are going to bump you. I know there's less contact. You're going to get bumped. You just got to make sure you're poised. Play through it. Not sure you have to.
Ross right away tried to explain to Middleton, hey, I'm just trying to stop the break.
I'm not sure you have to really.
Team shooting the ball well. 60% for the Clippers, 50% now for the Mavericks. Oh, a hard foul by Morris, and Doncic up. He wants to go back at him. As we just mentioned, these two have had a bit of a history. Of course, Doncic with that left ankle injury.
And to me, this is clearly a flagrant. Clearly.
There's two things that are clear here. That's a flagrant foul, and Doncic doesn't want to fire Marcus Morris Sr. Those things should be clear.
That is a hard foul. That's definitely going to be a flagrant one. Doncic's so upset. He was talking about that play from Game 5 and said that he hopes it was not intentional. And they asked him, would you want to talk to him about it if he wanted to say something? And Doncic said, I don't want to talk to him. He's been saying a lot of bad stuff to me in all the games. All right, right now let's bring in Steve Javie.
You cannot have situations like that. You can't have a guy, I mean, he's too valuable to this basketball team. He's the primary defender on the best guy on the opposing team. He's needed on the floor.
He didn't play a lot in the seeding games. That was on purpose. Brad told us today that as as there's a foul. Will they count the basket as well? Looked like the foul occurred before the shot as Tice and Ibaka are having words. So they're going to have to go look at this. But just to finish up on the Walker point, and we can clean this up, they wanted to make sure Kemba didn't play a ton so that he was 100% coming in.
Wow. I mean, Ibaka, just watch this. Ibaka's just going to pummel him.
Oh, yeah. So you got to think there's going to be a flagrant there on Ibaka for that. The question is, did the foul occur? A lot to sort out here.
Call it that. They've got some pennies in the piggy bank. Paul George colliding with defenders inside. A whistle will send to the line for two. And Paul George is not going to get tangled up. He's not going to let this interrupt his flow.
Talking about being focused, man. You know, Paul George, he felt like that was a little bit too much for Tim Hardaway Jr. on that foul.
Replay review, I don't see anything wrong with that foul, but this is going to be reviewed.
The play is under review.
Appellate courts, which of course is brought to you by Sweet James.
I like to see this Paul George. I like that he's angry and upset. I mean, that foul, he hit the basketball, but he followed through and hit Paul in the face, which is why I'm sure Paul is upset about that, but if this is the Paul George that you get, I like it.
Confidence-wise, did it only take one game for you?
The Denver Nuggets, the 3 seed, will force a Game 7. They were in Game 7s twice last year. Mitchell and the Jazz back to the drawing board.
That's going to be fascinating.
Interesting part of the matchups and strategy going into that series, and that's a foul on Embiid, who took exception. Embiid wanted a call right there and then commits the foul.
Feels like George is trying to put together a monster game right now, and all arrows pointing toward PG-13. He's got a quick 5 out of this second half now as Luka Doncic lost his shoe. Just curious to see how Luka lost his shoe. This is the moment. I don't know, man. Marcus Morris going right after that left foot, steps on him, the shoe comes off. If you're an optimist, you say it was an accident. If you're on the other side, especially if you're a Mavericks fan, you're probably looking at that as a direct step.
Oh, if I'm a Mavericks fan, kick him out, flagrant.